Hello everybody, I'm Sir Ray Avery. I'm a internationally renowned Kiwi scientist and entrepreneur, and I'm communicating with my people in New Zealand in the hope that we can work together to make New Zealand the best place in the world to raise a family and that our kids can get the best chance at life. Sadly, we've got some serious social problems that we need to address. We've got the highest rate of domestic violence and sexual violence in the developed world, with New Zealand police receiving one call for domestic violence complaints every 3 minutes. That's every 3 minutes. We have the highest suicide rate of children in New Zealand, 3 times higher than the OECD countries and the UE. So there's something horribly wrong there. We've got this serious problem. And as for our young children, we have the highest rate of child abuse in the developed world, with 50% higher of our kids being abused than, say, our cousins in Australia, with one child being killed every 5 weeks. So we need to have a look at ourselves and say, what can we do to fix these things? Despite these terrible statistics, my team at Help at Hand are making real inroads into stopping some of these events and getting women back to work and children back to school. So the Help at Hand program that we funded gives women a chance to be protected against further abuse, reduces recidivist offending by 89%, and reduces police call-outs by about 70%. So we've got something that actually works. And kids can go back to school without fear of being taken or abducted by their father. But the problem is that the government doesn't see domestic violence as an issue, despite it being the most common violent crime in New Zealand. So our government seems to think that putting police on the beat will make our society better. But what we're doing is we're endangering a whole lot of young children to a terrible future. If they were given a little bit of help, they could actually go on to be game-changing people like me. So what do we do? So our program certainly works. We've got independent studies that show that it works. But without government funding, we're totally reliant on funding from the general population and corporate donors. And thankfully we've had a few corporate donors who stepped up. But the problem I have is that we're now going into Christmas. We've got a huge waiting list of people wanting support. These women could lose their lives, and certainly they'll end up in hospital unless we actually intervene. So I'm asking you all now to take a look in the mirror and say, can we fix this problem? We have the tools to fix this problem, but we need to have the will. As a country, we need to take pride in our country and say, we're good Kiwis. We actually do go out there on the world stage and change the world. And I'm doing this thing for 2 reasons. Because it's heartbreaking watching these families, and I work with them every day. And I don't want the rest of the world looking at us and saying, these are terrible people, these Kiwis, because they don't look after their kids. So that's the first reason. I want to be proud of the country that I live in. The second reason is very personal, because I was knocked unconscious by my mother, put into care, abused for 7 years, ran away and lived on the streets of London. And one person, a social worker, got me off the streets of London, back into the education system. And I went on to change the lives of millions of people around the world, because somebody reached out and gave me a go. And that's why I'm doing this, because there's a lot of mini-me's out there, little mini-miss-me's, and we need to give them a bloody good chance. So New Zealanders, get behind the Help at Hand campaign, make a bloody donation, and make this the best country in the world to live in for our kids and our family and our future. Come on guys, we can do this.